Good day, traders. Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. Daily currency levels for the British pound crosses Monday, June 8th. Today, 9:45 a.m. New York Eastern Standard Time, ECB President Lagarde speaks. Nothing else on the calendar until Wednesday. Some big moves last week in a lot of the euro crosses. A lot of the major USD pairs are currently in range expansions, and we have some consolidation happening after some big moves down. Looking at our pound Aussie, we've had a big run down from that big breakout back in March, and then a measured move happening over April, May. Currently down in our lower 8,000, just above 8,000 and below 82.50. This market still not really showing any evidence of a bottom or a reversal pattern, although we have currently a pullback day happening. And looking at today, we have a 1, 2, 3 pins on the bottom. Monday, beginning of the week, but possibly the beginning of a consolidation reversal, just a short-term reversal before possibly retesting the lows. We look at our 4-hour chart, and we can see again this market still in a downward trend, but now in consolidation in the 4-hour after a 1, 2, 3 inside bar sideways. We could see a continuation and a range extension of the 1, 2, 3, possibly retesting the high of last week at 83.19. When we look at our 15-minute chart, we're currently trading inside of Friday's range still, not having yet taken out the previous Friday's high. We've had a engulfment just as we head into the end of the the Asian session, but very strong three-legged move up towards Friday's high still. Again, possibly may have a pullback. We are in a downtrend on that daily chart, and this market currently trading in a 100 pip range, so it's possible we could get a retest possibly of some swing lows. A 25 pip stop hunt would bring us back down to the 8200 level. If this market was to break out and continue long, we could see this market take out Friday's high and possibly again retest that high from last week. So if we bring that chart together, we can see that market has profitable traders sitting up around that 8300 level, and currently still inside of Friday's high, but a stop hunt, a 50 pip stop hunt, would take us up towards that 8300 level. We've had a breakout from that early session this morning, and again a measured move on that 4-hour chart could possibly take us up around the 8300 level or above. Up next is our pound Canadian. Again, another market that was largely in consolidation last week, still sideways, finding some short-term support at 7,000. We had a breakout after a 1, 2, 3 push pattern at the beginning of May. Breaking down outside of that range, a second full expansion would take us down around the 6650 level. Currently again sideways at just above the 7,000 level. On our 4-hour chart, we can see a possibility of a bigger geometrical pattern here if a breakout was to occur on either side. The 7,000 has formed some short-term support after the market trying to push down last 2 weeks. On our 15-minute chart, again, the market finding support on that 7,000 level. We're still inside of Friday's highs, possibly a 3-push pattern to the high. Again, the 75, 8,000 level possibly acting as support, but we've had a big move up from Thursday's low. 3 pushes, possibly 3 peaks, and a retest of the low at 68.75 if this move up towards the highs of Friday fails. Low of the day just below the Asian session at 70.39, and of course 70.25 and the 000 level very significant. So if the market fails to go any higher, we may get third push towards the high and a retest of these lows for a move back down towards Thursday's low. If the market breaks above 70.75, taking out Friday's highs, we could see that move continue up towards that 71.25 area. Up next, we have our pound Swiss. Again, this market's had a big run after one push, two push, three pushes off the bottom, breaking back inside of last month's range. We've moved back towards the highs of the month, just above that 2200 level. Currently, this market, if it was to continue its move, could possibly have a measured move if this market was to continue its breakout up towards that 2700 level. Now again, this market, if it was to fail here at 2250, we could see a reversal back inside of the range. But if the market continues its strong upward move, we could see this market move towards a range expansion up towards the 2700 level. On our 4-hour chart, again, market making new highs, a new range expansion from the breakout pullback. We could see this market possibly again move up towards 2400 if it was to get above the 2250 area. On our 15-minute chart, we can see that this market had a big run Thursday, Friday. Just bring this a bit closer. And again, today's session still inside of Friday's high. We've had three pushes up towards the high of the Asian session. The market, if it was unable to break through that 2250 level, would see it retest 25 pip stop hunt down to 2200, and below that, of course, 50 pips, 2175. We could see this market move back down towards the lows of the session longs before payrolls on Friday at the 2100 level. So currently we're sideways. We're range bound. We're inside of the 25 pip box between 2225 and 2250. A breakout on either side of that would see possibly a continuation of that strong upward move, or a reversal, stop hunting some of the traders long from Friday's London session and the payrolls U.S. session. Next is our pound yen. Again, another market. We've had a breakout of a trading range. That market had a big run up after the, similar to the pound Swiss, one push, two push, head and shoulders reversal last month, and then rocketing up through the highs of the month. There are gaps on the daily chart still if the market was to continue to do an extended range breakout. One full extension was up to the 140.00 area. And again, on our 4-hour chart, we can see, similar to the pound Swiss, after breaking out, we still have a micro trend line that's intact. Again, I talked about just being careful about counter trending. A strong trend like this, still making new highs. If we break above 140, we could see this market continue to rise into the next 250 pip box. There's no evidence. We've had a 1, 2, 3 and a consolidation, but really no evidence of a reversal at this point. And on our 15-minute chart, again, you can see the strong moves that we had last week in that run up. As we head into the end of the Asian session, we have stops below the low of the day. We're still sort of trading in this 25 pip box between 3,900 and 25. If the market was to break down, similar to the pound Swiss, we could see it move back down towards longs from the payroll session on Friday's U.S. session, as well as the lows from the swing lows of the London session headed into New York. If we can break through the highs of Friday, you can see this market retest above and continue trending. Currently, we've got a peak formation in place from the beginning of the Asian session and a consolidation at the low of that Asian session. Just tighten this up. So again, a stop hunt back through the highs could see us continue this strong move up. No evidence of yet of this market showing us a reversal. Still inside of Friday's U.S. session range, and again, stops above the high of today's session open just prior to the Asian market opening. Next up is our pound New Zealand. Another market, very strong downward trend the last couple months. And again, we took out stops from back in December technical level lows, whatever you want to refer to them as. We're trading in that downward movement. If I just bring this chart together, we can see this market still potentially has a lot of room to fall. We did come off of a 3-push pattern, 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes at the beginning of April. And again, we talked about the measured move on this, and market broke through into the second full expansion, which is just roughly around the 93.50 level. Sorry, just double checking that second full expansion. Yeah, it takes us around to the 93.25, 9300 level. And again, we may have a couple of days of pullback against that, but this market had a 1, 2, 3 pullback. We would want to see some sort of strong indication of a reversal, even a reversal and a retest before this market would be turning around. Micro trend line still intact. And again, lots of room where this market could still fall through. We have technical levels down by that 9300 level, and of course 9250, and even lower at 9000. When we look at our 4-hour chart, again, no evidence of market reversing. We've got a bit of a short-term reversal on the 4-hour, stop hunt and an engulfment consolidating at the 9500 level. But again, just market has been making new lows, and there's no indication yet that this market is done in the downward direction. When we look at our 15-minute chart, we can see that we've pulled back still and trading inside of Friday's range. We haven't broken out outside of any new lows, but we've had 1 push, 2 push, possibly a 1, 2, 3 as we head into the end of Asia. So we do have stops above the high of the day. We have stops above Friday's high. Of course, we had traders short at the end of the 3-hour window on Friday on a big engulfment. A 50 pip stop hunt would put us above Friday's high into that 95.75 area. Just draw this in. So possibly see a Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Monday scenario. We have a box forming if the market was to trade up towards the highs of Friday. We just tighten this up a little bit. We can see that the market has some selling pressure above that 95.50 level. And again, that being the case, we could have a big rectangle forming for a continuation of that move down or a breakout of that market above 95.50. Currently, again, sideways, but we'll just zoom in on this again. We've got anchor point low from Friday in today's session with a 1 push, 2 push, 3 push pullback. We could be getting a 1, 2, 3 for possibly retesting the lows of Asia, as well as the lows of the day and the week, unless this market breaks above towards the 95.25 level. Stops above and below on both sides where the market breaks will give us an indication of where we may be heading today. And lastly, our British pound. This market has a breakout on Friday from a trading range, a consolidation. We had 1 push, 2 push, and then 1, 2, 3, and a breakout on Friday. Again, similar, we could be possibly heading into a range expansion from that market. Just keep a sort of a basic outline on that. That could take us up towards the 3100 level, where we do have traders short from the beginning of the March sell-off. And again, this market still showing micro trend line intact. We'll just correct that. No evidence quite yet of any sort of topping formation or reversal. Talked about counter trending a strong breakout. I'm not big on counter trending. But again, on the 4-hour, we can see this continuation up through new highs. Micro trend line still intact. And again, the market, if it was to break above the 2750 level, we could see that continuing moving up towards the 1.3000 area. On our 15-minute, similar, we see the strong move from last week. Continuing up, no real evidence of a trendline break just yet. The market's consolidated inside of Friday's U.S. session highs. We've had 1 push, 2 push, possibly a 3rd push down towards the low of the Asian session. We could retest the highs for a continued breakout, or this market may break down further and again similar retest the lows of the U.S. session from prior to the payrolls release. Stops below 26.75 and 26.50. If we were to break above the high of the day, again, this market could continue its move into the next 250 pip box if it breaks the 27.50 level. Tightly consolidated, big strong trend last week. Breakout on our daily chart from Friday. Today will be an interesting trading session. When we close out on a quote from Paul Tudor Jones, the basic premise of the system that he traded was that markets move sharply when they move. If there is a sudden range expansion in a market that has been trading narrowly, human nature is to try to fade that price move. When you get a range expansion, the market is sending you a very loud, clear signal that the market is getting ready to move in the direction of that expansion. Paul Tudor Jones. Again, just reinforcing, we've had some big breakouts and some trending markets. Those markets could continue to trend, so just be cautious, traders. Exercise good risk management. Stay focused on your process. Have a great trading session, and may the markets go with you.
Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at StaceyBurkeTrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis, and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High-Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined, and may the markets go with you.